man, chilling outside the Tractor Supply. Had a pretty rough week. Like wasn't, I don't know. For me, it's hell week. You know what I mean? But fucking yeah, 7 days straight, 6 days on schedule, 1 week. Only had yesterday off, and I didn't really take a day off just because I didn't have to go to the retail bullshit store. What the hell? I got some loud ass Spanish people coming up the sidewalk. All this after 10 p.m. on a Friday. You know what I mean? But yeah. Woo! Woo! Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a redneck city. Like, they just, yeah. Yeah. Everybody here got them damn burnt neck. Fucking burnt neck cock muncher. Yeah, shit, man, where we at, man? Even their grandmother got a burnt neck. I don't know, man. They're coming. But yeah, I finished off that pack of cigarettes and hadn't bought a new one. So going on about 32 hours since then. Not too bad. Like, I don't really. Holy shit. You might want to get out and check that out. Jeez. But yeah, man, like I say, yeah, I quit smoking because I don't know, it was going on about a year that I've been smoking them damn things, and yeah, they're really, 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 really cheap cigars, so I can only imagine what actually goes into them. But yeah, it's not too bad, man. I mean, it there was a point it was about the shittiest day of the whole week, and because of that point, it made it the shittiest day of the whole week. You know what I mean? But other than that, it wasn't. I don't know. Better than being in Iran. You know what I mean? Shit. You know what I mean? I'd rather be mopping floors in America than be an engineer in Iran. And that's the truth. Sorry to say it, but you know what I mean. Fuck anybody that's looked around. But anyway, I don't know. Yeah, fucking rednecks. Yeah, it's not too hard, man. Like, if you have zero, you don't have to worry about losing too much. You know what I mean? And then you can only go up from there. It's like, I don't know. It's like a roller coaster coming out of the. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, it's not too hard. I mean, like I said, somebody commented on one of my videos a couple weeks ago. He's like, "Hey, stay safe and stay out of trouble." And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm not really worried about the trouble part. I'm like, the most trouble I'm doing is littering cigarette butts. You know what I mean? Which I won't even be doing that here. You know what I mean? But yeah, the thing I'm worried about is like safety. But it ain't too hard. I don't know. Yeah, appreciate the likes, guys. Yeah, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I do try to put a little bit of time editing in my videos. So, if you wanted to check them out, I got it's a long story, like so. You could check them out week to week, month to month. You know what I mean? Um, But yeah, just see somebody doing their thing, moving and grooving, kicking and bopping every day. Um, I don't know. It's just everything's gotten so expensive. It's not that I don't want to work. It's just trying to find like the right job, you know, because I don't want to just be working in a fucking kitchen somewhere. You know what I mean? And then I'm not cut for military. Also, I'm kind of too old now, you know. And then yeah, I don't want to be fucking around with medical. You know what I mean? And really, that's like 75% of the jobs right there. You know, it's like I'm just trying to find something where I'm not in a fucking kitchen, and then I'm not dealing with customers face to face would be nice, and then also not working on cars too. And you know what I mean? If I'm like I'm not working on food because I'm working on cars, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to do either. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'd be happy just to sweep and mop a Bitcoin mining facility, to be honest with you. You know, sweep and mop and take the trash out. You know, like, but I don't know. It's like I said, neither here nor there. Lost a couple. I don't know. Had a popped up, said I had like 26 viewers for a quick second there, and then it went down to like 16. It went down, yeah, now it's down to 4. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for a couple minutes. You know, not really doing anything. Just got off like the retail job that I have. Currently homeless, living in a 2007 Toyota Corolla. Been here since September. Um, it's not too bad. You know, first couple weeks, you know, the hardest thing I've got is you know finding a place to take a nap still, because I did have a couple places, you know, and obviously I made it till this far, you know what I mean. But at the same time, I'm kind of using out the places that I've been at so far. Oh, I lost everybody. I did have like 5 or 6 viewers for a quick second there, but yeah. 220k miles, yeah, that's pretty good, man. I'm at like 194, 195, I'm gonna say. But I hope I'm lucky and I got a million mile engine. You know what I mean? Because that's possible with around that year. You know, Toyotas and stuff like that. I bet the newer 17 Toyota and up. I don't think you can get a million miles out of them engine. They didn't make them to last that long. You know what I mean? But yeah, like a late '90s Honda, even early '90s Honda. Right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's like there's a little bit of electronics, but not too much. It's a nice little car. She's got me plenty of money. I try to be good to her, but yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, like I'm trying to get the land and like got about 6 grand in savings, and I'm not sure what Bitcoin's gonna do. They keep saying it's going down to 30 or 40, so I'm sure it's probably gonna go the other way because you know back in October when they were talking about 250 is coming, you know, and it went the other way. So now that they say it's going down more, I'm pretty sure it's gonna flatline and then start to go back up. You know what I mean? So I'd hate to sell it right now because it's down so much. I'd be selling it for like 50 cents on the dollar, pretty much. You know, and then really I don't know because like there's ways you can take a loan out. Like you can take a loan out against your Bitcoin, and then you know like take out a 4-year loan against my Bitcoin, put up my Bitcoin as collateral to get 10k, take the 10k, buy a piece of land, and then have 4 years to pay back the loan. You know what I mean? And then get my Bitcoin back. And in that 4 years' time, Bitcoin's also gone up in price to make it more worth my time to want to pay back the loan to get my Bitcoin back. But yeah, that's pretty much that's what my plan is. But you can only take out you need to take out a loan on for me to take out a loan of 10k Bitcoin. I need 20k of Bitcoin or more. Um, you know what I mean? You get 20k in Bitcoin, pull out the loan for 10, and then hopefully pay it back in 4 years to be able to get my Bitcoin back. And then, you know, I could probably do a longer loan than 4 years. It's just 4 years seems to make the best amount of makes the most sense in my head because there's, you know, the 4-year halving cycles. You know what I mean? So it'd be pretty much for one whole halving cycle. I'd have a loan out against it, and then if I time it right in between the bull and the bear market and all that shit, just buy at the bottom, or not buy, but scheduled a loan in the bear market. Pretty much, if I were to pull out a loan right now, where it's at right now, I wouldn't have to worry about it falling and it being liquidated on me to collateralize to, not collateralize, not the it being liquidated to cover the fund of the loan, because it's already down so much. I don't think it's going to go down. You know what I mean? It would have to go down under 32K from where it is now. You know what I mean? So like right now would be a good time to pull out a loan because it's poised to just go back up from here, and then you could pull out the loan for 10K at 10%, right? 10% on that. That's gonna be, you know, fucking well times 4 years. You know what I mean? But you're looking at 11,000 after one, and then you don't have to make payments on it month to month either. You pay all in one lump sum. So I mean, it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing. You know what I mean? I would rather kind of make payments of like $86 a month for 4 years instead of having to save probably what 14K. I don't know. Probably about 14,000. If I took out a $10,000 loan for 4 years at 10%, yeah, it'd probably be about 14,000 to pay it back. But still, I'd put 20K worth of Bitcoin up to get a 10K loan, and then it goes up in value. So that 20K of Bitcoin, it's like 50K of Bitcoin. So I'm paying $14,000 back to myself to get my 50K back. You know what I mean? Yeah. I over explained it, but yeah, you get it. I had people that were coming in and out. You know what I mean? So I was trying to talk to so they would understand what the hell I was even talking about. But yeah, it's like I said, if everybody on the planet were to wise up to Bitcoin and then just buy 1%, you don't even need a lot. We wouldn't even need a lot because there's only 21 million, right? So if everybody bought 1% of one Bitcoin, and there would be supply shock, they wouldn't even have the Bitcoin to fill the orders. So only a few people would even actually even get their order. You know what I mean? And then we would create a number that is like so huge, and that everybody would have a piece of, right? Create a number that is so big that everybody would have a piece of at the same time, and then there would be no reason to go to war. And at the same time, we'd be taking away the power that the governments have over like printing money in the first place. Like they print money for them, to fund them to be able to go to war. So if we could take that power away from them by creating a whole other currency that the whole world is backed, and the whole world agrees that, I don't know where I'm going with that. I lost my thought as I was saying it, but yeah, I don't think I got any new subscribers off of this, but a couple people popped in. Yeah, I'm really trying to get some subscribers, man. I'm sorry for all the shorts, but yeah, so like you can't see it, but I can click on them and I can see how many people subscribed because of the short, and I'm getting way more subscribers off of fishing through the shorts. You know what I mean? Like the long form videos is what makes people stay. You know what I mean? But the short is a good like advertising scheme, I guess. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I'll try to only do like one a day, but yeah, some of these shorts that I'm making, just asking people to subscribe, telling them like 30 seconds about the channel, homeless, living in a car, check me out. You know what I mean? I'm getting like on average about 20 new subscribers off of, if I post it and it does its thing for about a day, tries to find an audience for it, right? Because they try to put videos in front of you that you would actually want to watch. They try to keep you on the platform. You know what I mean? They don't want you to go over to Twitch or go over to Rumble or whatever other names I can't think of right now. X, But yeah, they try to put videos on YouTube that you want to sit down and watch. You know what I mean? Oh, I lost somebody just talking about another channel. Cool. But anyway, I knew that was gonna happen as I was saying it. But yeah, um, But yeah, like each one of them little shorts, I'm hitting about 20 subscribers off of it after about 30 hours of it being out or so, you know. And then they check out the short, and it pulls them to the channel. And then they check out the channel, and then they see, oh, this dude's like posting daily videos. Like he's like, there's more or less, like I said, it's like a journaling, like video journaling my life. I don't know, just for whoever's actually even interested. But I don't know. It's even cool for me to look back at. You know what I mean? See how much progress I made in the 100 days. You know, because I mean, I think a hundred days of doing the Chronicles, I'm gonna get somewhere. You know what I mean? Um, whether I make 1,000 subscribers or not, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm necessarily gonna make 1,000 subscribers off of just making 100 episodes of the Chronicles. That's why the shorts help. You know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah. But like I said, the Chronicles is like the meat of the channel, and I'll do something else too. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm thinking of, because my whole scheme is I'm trying to get to retirement earlier. You know what I mean? If I can find a way to build my own house for like 50K, it's not bad. It's tight, really. You know, because I can't. I've seen other people that create a way where they fold down the seats and then they sleep with their legs into the trunk. You know, but I've got too much shit. You know what I mean? I can't, like the like I need to learn how to let it go more. You know what I mean? Because I don't need so much shit. You know what I mean? I got like 30 t-shirts, dude. I'll be honest with you. I got like 30 t-shirts, but I only wear about 5. You know what I mean? Because after about 5, I've got a pile of clothes that need to get washed. So I never make it to the other like 20 some odd shirts that I have. You know what I mean? I just keep wearing the same like 5 favorite shirts. So I gotta get rid of a bunch of shirts. I've got black pants you can see up there behind me. I've got fucking 10 pairs of those. So that's like another 4 pair that I plan on getting rid of. I just hadn't gotten rid of them anywhere. That's why I need the van. I don't know. I need to get rid of shit, and I also need to upgrade, my cubic footage a little bit more. Have you considered making a Discord? Yeah, I'm thinking that, but I don't fuck with Discord too much to know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Um, and I think the channel is, honestly, it's a little bit too small for something like that quite yet. Like, I do get what you're saying, it'll help it build and everything, but I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Because I don't know what the channel is gonna turn into. I'm trying not to be greedy with it, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm trying to treat it like it's a job. You know what I mean? I've been kind of running myself ragged, um, in a sense, because it's like I'm working 3 jobs right now, sort of. You know what I mean? And at Uber, this last week, Uber hasn't really paid very well because the retail job's been fucking beating me up, wanting me there all fucking week for only 5 hours each day, and so it's not even worth it, like I'm giving them like all my time all fucking week, and I don't know. Yeah, so I told him, I'm like, yeah, just go ahead and just put me on for the weekends. I was like, whatever hours you decide to give me, but I'm changing my availability so that I'm only available on the weekends, and I'm gonna go try to find something else to do because I really don't like cars. Granted, I'm living in one. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I kind of fucking don't like them, man. I don't know. I don't know. To me, they're like the scourge of society after, like, I don't know, after drugs, obviously, like meth and fentanyl and crack, right? You know what I mean? But, like, as much as cars have helped humanity, they've also hurt humanity, and it's like we can kind of all see that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. And then also, to me, it's kind of like they're over an 100-year-old invention that we just kind of like we just keep rewrapping in plastic, and calling it a new car, new car, new car. That's a 125-year-old invention. You know what I mean? Granted, it runs a little better than it did. right? And then, like I said to my coworker, he's a 60-year-old guy. I said to him tonight, I'm like, so like, what do you do if the path to enlightenment and the path to greed have like become intertwined into each other? Like, how do you know which path to actually take at that point? And he just laughed. Like, so I was like, well, thanks. I was trying to get an actual answer, you know. I don't know. 'Cause I think there's other ways you can be on the path to enlightenment without just simply going and getting a degree in something. You know what I mean? Because honestly, I'm not trying to improve my what I'm worth per hour. I could give a fuck less what I'm worth per hour. You know, honestly, the less I'm worth per hour, the less they'll ultimately get out of me, is the way I'm thinking. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, that's more or less that's what I think. It's like, I would rather have more hours of actual freedom than anything else in the first place. If I can, look at the end of my, get to the end of my life and know that I've made it, I still lived till 70, like just about anybody, or ish, whatever. You know what I mean? But even to live past 50, right? But I was able to do it on only working like 20, 25 hours a week because I found my own way through it. I didn't need to buy a $400,000 house. I didn't need to have 3 kids and do all this other shit and buy a fucking $50,000 truck and you know, I don't know. But you get what I'm saying. And then at the same time, if I can find a way to create a like, because you've heard this, I'm sure people that are watching, you've seen it. But yeah, it does look like there's more than usual hanging out with me right now. But anyway, plan is to get like $12,000 piece of property, and then it's another $12,000 tax to like the state or the county to build anything on it. So I'm in the hole for about 25K before I've even paid for whatever structure I want to put on it, right? So 20K, and I'm thinking, okay, so 25K and another 5K to boom, just plop something on it, right? So that's without electric though. Without electric, which also means that you're without a well, right? So I'd have to do my own thing for water, either have like a case of water or gallons of water, or even get to the point where I have like a water truck or a pretty big water tank on my van or something like that. So, I've thought it, you know what I mean? I meditate a lot. I've thought into pretty much every predicament. Um, but at the same time, you got state government, local government, and then also like neighborhood rules, deed restrictions and all that. It's like a second local government inside of the county, whatever county rules there are. Another list of rules from whatever neighborhood you're buying land in, and then they want to make it illegal, all these different, things that people have been using as a domicile for like the last 30 years or so. All of that's illegal. So you got to kind of like find ways around this and that, but yeah, the van's pretty much the best idea because they can't say you can't park a van on your land. Um, it has to be registered and it has to be movable. That's the only things. And in the registration part, I bet you could slag on that a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's been 6 months since you registered it, or I bet you could, it ain't been registered in 3 years. You know what I mean? You might have to go to court. You might have to get it registered at that point. You know what I mean? Pay a fine or whatever. But I bet you could get away with not getting it registered like every 12 months, like clockwork. You know what I mean? And then, yeah, like I said, until the point where I could get like something built for like 30,000 just to have some kind of walls. I know to hook it into the electric, depending on how adjacent to electric I would actually be at whatever plot of land I bought, I'm looking at 3 to 20 grand to hook the plot of land into electric, which you have to do if you want even solar, even to have solar. You have to plug that plot of land into the grid, and whatever excess power you're making, it goes straight back into the. So you do all that, and like I said, hopefully I'd be in the hole for like 50,000. I'd have a place to live, you know. And then the way I see it, it's like a $200,000 less than what I would have to spend for the same thing anyway. A place to go and sleep so I could reset and keep working, you know. So I don't know. But yeah, $200,000 more that the sooner I could put into Bitcoin, the sooner that would even actually pay off. You know what I mean? Because you got all kinds of people like that still coming to buy Bitcoin off of me later, basically. You know, people that are gray haired, they don't have any need for Bitcoin. They won't even be long enough to where they won't even be alive long enough to where it actually will matter. You know what I mean? But yeah, at least that's what the plan is. You know, and if it doesn't take off, well then fuck, I'm in the same I'm in the same shit either way. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Like even if the car takes a shit on me, I've got enough money saved up where I could just buy another beater car. You know, like I don't have to buy anything nice. You know, just buy something that's at least a 2000. You know what I mean? Don't buy no 90s vehicle. You know. But yeah, not spend more than fucking 4 or 5 grand on it, and then I could make that back. I mean, granted, I'd have to run a lot of Uber orders, but I could make that back off the car. You know what I mean? If I bought anything that was running decently. Yep. That's what the kids do in this town. I guess their parents are shopping over at Walmart or something, so they just let their kids run free around the parking lot of the plaza next to it. I don't blame them though. There's nothing else to fucking do in this city. Like they really ought to. They should have put like a roller skating rink or a bowling alley or like a movie theater, you know, or just something, something, a fucking batting cage, goat cart place, something, like fuck. I've been here for 30 years and I've been waiting for them to build, anything for a kid to do other than fucking go to Walmart. But yeah, man, pop off in the chat. I know y'all can't read each other's chats. I apologize. Fred said Greek. Fred said greed farts humanity, and that's where I was talking about how like the path to enlightenment and the path to greed have like become intertwined with each other. I don't know. Because granted, there's things you could do to make yourself more intelligent, where you're not necessarily going to make more money. But yeah, a lot of people would think like, what's the point in that? Like people tell me all the time, oh, you should be a truck driver. You should go to truck driver school. And I get it. Part of it would, like I'm already kind of doing it anyway. And then like, if I had a semi, I could pretty much park anywhere and sleep. You know what I mean? The cops wouldn't think of anything at that point. They'd think, yeah, he's just a truck driver. Just a truck driver sleeping, pull over on the side of the road. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like, I should, but at the same time, it's like, they have such a need for truck drivers right now. I don't know. And then it's, for me, with my current pay and everything, it's like, it's a half a year commitment of my current salary to pay to be able to go to school for it. Now, granted, I bet it's kind of pass or fail, the class itself, you know what I mean? Like either you can pass and you can do it, which, I don't think it's too hard, I think a lot of the backing up and stuff, there's like yard guys that move the trailers around, and you know what I mean? You as a semi trailer, you just pull in and then you unhook and then you pull right back out. You probably never reverse. Reverse is probably just a part of the class. But yeah, it's just not something I would even want to do. Just fucking, I don't know, dude. And then honestly, I think truck drivers are kind of overpaid. Like I don't know. Don't shoot me for saying that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why is a truck driver and a police sergeant live in the same neighborhood? You know what I mean? I don't know. And to me, it's like it seems like it's a job anybody could do. You just have to go to school for it first. You know what I mean? I don't know. had that yesterday. I had that issue yesterday. DLC, but you can't, sir. This is spose. Spose. Truck drivers do long hours. I'd hate that job. See, yeah, I'm the same way. Like, it doesn't, because like we're in America. You know what I mean? Like you're free to be whatever you want to be. You just have to do something, right? Like, and then if I'm free to be whatever I want to be, well, then whatever I'm going to school for, I want it to be what I want to be. You know what I mean? I don't want to just go to school for something because we have a need for this, or we've got that, we need this, or, you know, I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's, and a part of it is, yeah, like I'm just fucking lazy. But in another part of it is, I had prepaid college, but my father also decided to take that away from me to buy himself a Nissan 350Z, so if I were to go back to college, I would, like, I'd have to pay the price of a house, which I already don't want to fucking pay, just to go back to school, and then hopefully make enough money from whatever job that I can pay off the loan and also, I don't know, also survive, and then try to pay for everything else that the rest of the world has, so that way I can feel like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just fucking, like I said, you can't win from losing in this bitch. But I don't know. It's like, that's where I'm saying that, but I already went to school for 13 fucking years, right? Like, they couldn't have actually taught me something in the 13 fucking years of my life that they basically took from me. So now because they basically just babysat for that time. Now I have to pay to go back to school to actually learn something that can help me progress in the world. You know what I mean? And that's just where I'm like, no, fuck them, fuck that. Like what did they actually? You know what I mean? Because I sit back and I'm thinking about that. Like, I more or less just kind of wasted time. You know what I mean? Like, and granted, some of us don't. You know what I mean? But the vast majority of us do. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have to. I'm kind of intelligent. I'm not like super brilliant. You know what I mean? I don't claim to be a genius or nothing, but like, it was not hard for me to get all C's. You know what I mean? Across the board, just C's at every single class. And obviously you get an A in gym, so that way, if you do get a D somewhere, you can balance out. And yeah, I don't know. It's like, but at the same time, it's like I feel like they just wasted 13 years of my life, and then now I've got to pay to go back to school to actually learn a trade like HVAC or welding or plumbing or whatever the fuck, some bullshit fucking roofing or how to swing a hammer 101 type of class. And then their main thing that they were trying to do in school was either feed me evolution or feed me a keyboard or fucking teach you so much shit about the English language that it doesn't even really actually fucking matter. They overboil it so much. You know what I mean? Just to fill up fucking, I don't know, fill up 4 years of your high school. So you have to, like, you already fucking know English by the time you've made it to high school. I don't know why you have to take another 4 years of fucking English in high school. What was the point of fucking elementary and middle school if they didn't even teach you English? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like fucking, but like I said, it's like it's just ways to waste our fucking time. And then like like, just to set us back for the first 18 years of life. And then if you turn 18 and if you're not wise about the credit industry and all that shit, you don't even get started with that until you're like 25 or later, right? And then you have to spend fucking 10, 15 years fucking around with credit before you actually have decent credit, you know? And then by the time you're fucking 40 years old and you're still renting, you know? And then the rent is more than the mortgage, on a place that's smaller. But yeah, it's like, I don't know what the fuck if I went back to school, even if it was like a 9 month course or something, right? I'm just doing something just to bullshit to make more money. I don't want to do that either. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be consumed by greed enough where I went back to school. I don't know. Went back to school to do something I didn't even fucking want to do just because the economy is so bad that I had to. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, the fuck? And obviously there's something wrong with the fucking system. You know what I mean? But we have to go to school to, I don't know. We have to go back to school. That just shows how much fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But yeah, fucking a $50,000 house with no electric is fine by me, you know? Fucking, and like, damn, like I went up to Ohio and everything. Part of my mind, I was wanting to like jump, I was trying to get into those Amish communities and figure out like what I could do. Like, how do you, how do you get on it, because they seem like they're living at least just as good a life as we are, but without automobiles, without electric, fucking having probably more kids than a lot of us are today's, you know, and probably end up with more free time too. I don't know. Because like you've had a farm, how much time would you really have to spend on it if you kept up with it? You know what I mean? And then you did something on it every single day. I bet you'd only have to do about maybe 3 hours of work to maintain it every single day. I don't know for sure. There's a lot of technology that's in place today. Granted, if you were Amish, you wouldn't use any of that, but still, it's like once you've got the corn planted, I'm sure there's months just kind of waiting for it to grow. You know. Same thing with cows. Like once you've birthed the cow, you pretty much got to wait 3 years to eat it anyway. See, that's the thing. I don't know. I don't even know how you do it. I even changed states, which like the states, like when you have more of a broader mindset, you see that like we're really 50 different countries that all operate under one like national government's rules as well. You know what I mean? So each state is like its own country in a way, kind of like the European Union and all that. That's kind of the reason that the dollar can even kind of similar. It's kind of comparable to the euro. You know what I mean? Because it's a landmass thing, and it's a strength of economies thing, and you know what I mean. Um, a guy at work, a guy at work car, a guy at work's car was broke down, so one guy yelled, "Buy a horse." Well, that's what I'm thinking. A golf cart, man. Because like you think about a car, right? A car is like 3,001 parts. A golf cart, which pretty much does the same thing, right? Ultimately, and a golf cart's what, about 200 pieces? You know what I'm saying? Like from every little nut and bolt. Think about all the stupid fucking sensors there are on cars. Do those sensors? Do those all? Is there an oxygen sensor on a golf cart? No. So would you have to worry about your oxygen sensor breaking on your golf cart? No. It's like, and in certain communities here in Florida, you can just get around everywhere on a fucking golf cart. You know what I mean? Um, I'm thinking that way. Part of me even wanted to come down here and just like immediately jump to a golf cart. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I'd have to look into it a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, granted, the only difference is you can't go 80 on a golf cart, not safely at least. You know what I mean? But if everything is really adjacent anyway, you know what I mean? A golf cart would, I don't know. At that point, you might as well just get an e-bike. I don't know. But yeah, a golf cart would be a little bit more pimp, though. You know what I mean? Like an e-bike is not pimp, not yet at least. Nobody on an e-bike is really balling. Well, unless you are a baller on an e-bike or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Nobody delivering for Uber on an e-bike is balling. Yeah, I don't know. But hey man, I got 5 likes now. I went from 3 up to 5. That's cool. I might even have made another subscriber. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I don't know. See what kind of pennies that even pays, and I'm not gonna just stop because I made it there. But yeah, I ended up doing 20 years driving forklift in factory. Yeah, I thought about that too, but I don't like, to me, moving thousands of dollars of material around on these pallets and then worrying about I'm gonna bump into something. Or I like to smoke marijuana too, and that's like a no go in a lot of warehouses, even though it's about to be federally legal, kind of, sort of, and it's medically legal, and I've got a medical card. There's just a bunch of hoops to jump through. You know what I mean? And then like just my own nervousness. I wouldn't want to be moving around a $20,000 piece of something, because that's about what I make in a year, and I'm moving that around 8 hours a day, all day long. Just, yeah, you know what I mean. Granted, I know there's safety that's in place, and probably nowadays they have a spotter, you know what I mean. So you have like another guy that's not even on the forklift that just kind of like directs you around, you know what I mean. But I don't know. It's just not for me. You know what I mean? I don't know, dude. I haven't seen anything that the world has put in front of me that I'm like, oh, that's something I would really want to do. Other than maybe like if I could be a lifeguard on like a lazy river at like a water park, you know what I mean? I'm sure that's a chill job. Just watching all the MILFs float by, you know? But I'm not, I don't have the body for it, and I don't know. I wouldn't know who to, and then part of it's like it's all about who you know. You know what I mean? And I don't know anybody that would help me out to help me get into that position at this point, at least. You know what I mean? Hopefully, YouTube, maybe I can, somebody will hook me up. But really, what would be another awesome job, something I think I'd be badass at, cutting down trees at night. Like, granted, I know there's well, it wouldn't have to be at night. Just like if I was a second shift logging guy, because I'm not a morning person. I can't be. It don't matter, Granted, yeah, if you'd be willing to pay me $100 an hour, yeah, I'll show up at 6 a.m., 4 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever you need. But that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, if y'all are only going to pay me 25, can I show up at like 12? You know? But yeah, that's what I would love to do. Like 12 to 8 p.m., working for like a logging crew somewhere, doing some sort of heavy lifting, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Swinging an axe or whatever. Fucking, yeah, I think it'd be fun. And then you're just cutting down trees too, like, Osmond Gold says, he's like, to be a good job for them, it's like you have them take a hammer and you have them break big rocks into small rocks. And I'm like, where's that job at? I think I'd be beasted. I wouldn't be the best, but I'm like, damn, that's kind of mental capacity of the job that I want. I want a job where I just break big rocks into small rocks. Weeds, no, it's medically legal. They're pushing to put it on the ballot, but like there's so many old people, and then there's so much like black market with all the drug game too, because it's Florida. There's the drugs that come in from Colombia, drugs that come in from Cuba, drugs that come in from Bermuda, whatever island you can think. Yeah, but if it stays medical, it doesn't go fully recreational, it won't affect the prices too much because the medical, and then think about too, if you're in the medical field of it, you're doing it all the legal way, paying all this money out, and then you're growing this stuff, and it's good flour, it's fucking medically cleared flour that it was clean and everything, the whole process was, you know, but you have to sell it for like 35 an ounce because the market's destroyed because it's recreational. You know what I mean? And then there's so much so much of the shit on the street that you know basically I don't know, the street price and the counter price right now with it being medical, they're about the same. Actually, the medical price is probably a little bit lower. So a lot of people on the street, they're trying to nickel and dime everywhere they can. You know what I mean? And really, what the game is you need to buy a whole pound. Have enough money where you buy a whole pound. Right? I know this from talking to people. Never done it myself. But yeah, you buy a whole pound, and you take a quarter pound of that whole pound, and you break it all into eighths. Weigh it all out into eighths and bag it all up. And then you sell all those eighths, and then to buy the whole pound. Right? You can sell a couple ounces too, you know what I mean? But you need to take one whole QP and put it all into eighth bags. But anyway. That alarm's been going on and off all night. I don't know what it is. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool too, but that you need to get like a doctorate degree to to take a feather duster and dust off bones. You need a doctorate degree. You're talking X hundreds of thousands of dollars probably for the school to go over to the schooling to be able to do that is out of my price range. You know what I mean? Like I I don't know, dude. I don't even know what I could do because I need to think of something where I could go to school for like less than $5,000, less than $5,000 too, which would probably be like HVAC tech. But I don't really want to be doing because I don't know. It doesn't really sound fun to me, Then I'd be going to school just because of my greed. I got consumed by greed, and I went to school for HVAC tech because I wanted to make double pay. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's really the right path. You know what I mean? I don't know. It just yeah. Yeah, it's like, but whatever I do, I ultimately, and I'm like, I want to work, like, show up at least, like 11 or 12. Even if I go back to school for something, I want a job. I didn't go to school so that I could show up at fucking 7 or 8 a.m. somewhere or 9 a.m. somewhere. I went to school. You know what I mean? I went to school so I didn't have to fucking show up at the office at 8 a.m. You know? So I don't know. And there's a lot of jobs that they are just cut to morning. IT certification is a lot of online study you need to do. But they don't require classes. It's just a fee to take the test. Yeah, somebody told me about like insurance salesmen or something like that too. Like he was telling me you should be a life insurance salesman. He's like, because it's a kind of job you can do from like a couch with a laptop. All you need is a good headset, and see what he was saying, something like it's inbound calls too. So the people that are calling you, it's because they saw like a Liberty Mutual commercial on TV or whatever life insurance company. But yeah, they'll call because they saw the number, and then you're dealing with the inbound calls, and then you just basically you type in their information, you quote them their price, and then they tell you yes or no. So I don't know. That's definitely something I could probably do, but at the same time it's competitive too because you have to sell. You have to sell. If you don't sell, there's an alarm going off. Like I don't know. I'm homeless, so I'm using the Wi-Fi off of this Tractor Supply company. I think it's just their alarm, because it's gone off like 3 or 4 times by now. But yeah, like their alarm's just going on. Like I think if the cops were gonna come because of it, they would have came by now. But even still, I'm not really doing anything but piggybacking off their Wi-Fi. I noticed earlier that their Wi-Fi was pretty good, so I was like, okay, this is where I'm gonna go. I shaved a Japanese what? Okay. See, but now if you look at the Japanese flag, right? If you really look at it, is it really the Japanese flag or is it the Martian flag? Think about that one. Uh-oh. A professional pube trimmer. Yeah, no, yeah. That's why, like, yeah, if I could just be gay, fuck, I'd be set, you know what I mean? I would have found some gay guy that would have been happy to have a little cub run around the house, you know, helping them vacuum, get laundry done or whatever, fucking, you know. But no, I've got to find something I can do to make money because I'm straight. Oh, what we got? No, see, I think you're missing the point. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I really wish I could just bite the bullet and be gay. I would have a way better sex life. You know what I mean? Because, man, these women, they play so fucking hard to get. And, you know, with gay guys, if they find you attractive, there's not fucking 4 dinners involved first. You know what I mean? Like, maybe. Fucking, I don't know. Nothing. I mean, I've just been sitting here. I've been watching. Yeah, I mean, no, what even a car alarm? It's like their front door security alarm or something like that. Like, it went off. I was coming in the parking lot. It was going off, and I was thinking like, oh, it's just locking up for the day. It just makes that noise like one more time before it like locks or like alert. You know, I don't know. But yeah, it's been going off about every 20 minutes or so. Oh, he said, what you got? You gotta play the game. Don't pull out right away. Play those rules. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'll just keep doing my thing. Like I said, I got half the money saved up if I were to withdraw it right now. Um, yeah, doing that like all on my own too. Like nobody's, I think, well, I don't know. My mom gave me $100 for Christmas, but I don't remember what I even spent that on. I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy anything stupider than some weed. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying not to spend money in the first place. But yeah, other than that, I pretty much, I've got like 6 grand in savings that I've built myself while living in the car. Um, I don't know. I panhandled a little bit, but I don't know. Just it wasn't right. I don't know. Just I don't know. I tried. I was out there. I was trying to panhandle. Just to see what I could get because I don't. Doing the Uber and beating the shit out of my car while I'm also using it as an apartment. You know what I mean? It's just like it could break down anywhere, and then I'd be fucked. Everything I own, I'm just stuck wherever it's at. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, let me just, I'll fucking panhandle. Like I'm homeless anyway. I'm not gonna. I don't know. But yeah, part of me, like, as I was doing it, I'm like, man, I'm not homeless like these people are. You know what I mean? Oh, the cops are zipping in now, like full speed zipping in. But yeah, I don't know if he comes to give me shit. I'm not going, and I'm not gonna haul ass on him or nothing. But yeah, I haven't done anything. I've been sitting here for 54 minutes with y'all, not even throwing cigarette butts out the window. But yeah, I don't know. That's why I said I was in a couple of days where I was panhandling, and then the first day I was out there for about 4 or 5 hours, but I made $50 out of it, you know. Um, but I figured, if I'm even making 20 a day to do it versus driving my car around, putting over 100 miles on it, beating the shit out of it, you know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the cop's over here. He's got his lights on now. He came like whipping through this parking lot about 40 miles an hour and then stopped right there at that store. So I'm a little worried. But I think it'll look suspicious if I fire up the car and haul ass too at the same time. So I'm kind of waiting for him to confront me, you know, or whatever. I could just tell him like, oh look, I've been live. You know, I got a timer right there. I could show him like I've just been live piggybacking off their internet. But yeah, there's a lot of glare from that light. But yeah, there's a cop car over there with his lights going. So, like I said, I don't know. I think it'll look worse if I fire up the car and haul ass. So, I'll wait for him to tell me that I need to leave. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's a cop I've even seen before too. So, he probably already, if it's the cop I've seen before, he already pretty much knows my situation. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know why the alarm was going off. There's nobody even over there. There were some kids fucking around earlier, but they just walked through. Like they were like walking from like Walmart down to the Publix or something. But yeah. Well, I mean, I'm like right in front of the store though. Like it looks really suspect where I'm at. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like the McDonald's is still pumping. It's still kind of early for a Friday night. I mean, it's 11 now, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Their alarm, it's just their alarm just chirping. Some bubble gum. Hey,
Have you seen anybody here next to this business?
no, sir. I've been here just live streaming using their internet.
Okay.
But no, I haven't. I mean, their alarm's been going nuts the whole time I've been here.
Okay. You haven't seen anybody go up to the front or anything like that? Nothing like
There was kids, but like like teenagers
that?
age.
How long ago?
Uh, 45 minutes ago maybe.
Okay.
But they were just kind of just walking through. I don't even think they were like jumping on the lawnmowers and stuff. Yeah.
You haven't seen anybody here in like 45 minutes?
No, sir.
All right. And the kids already left?
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
No problem, sir. Cool. But yeah, I don't know. I got the big YouTube advertisement on the back window too, so yeah, there's a lot of First Amendment rights type of shit they don't like to cross bounds with. It's kind of, I don't know. But yeah, I think even my marijuana card is like registered through the Department of Motor Vehicles, so like he could look up my tag and see my marijuana card. You know what I mean? And pretty much when they see that, it's like they're like, okay, there's no reason, you know. It's like they do be catching people on that though. I know I slipped up a little bit, you know what I mean, but I couldn't remember the word lawnmower. But I'm dyslexic sometimes, most of the time. Dyslexic, I think, with Asperger's and autism at the same time, or something like that. But I don't know. The doctors, they've never said like, "Oh, you have Asperger's." They're always worried about calling me, bipolar, schizophrenic, and you know, all the bad words. Nothing encouraging. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you actually have a mental health disability. That's why you can't learn. No, it's always a wiring problem. But damn, man. But yeah, I was just guessing, but I think it was about 45 minutes ago because I went live, and I think like 5 minutes into the video they were making noise going the one way, and then about 10 or 15 minutes later they were making noise going back the other way. So I mean, I don't know. It's kind of in the live. I could, I mean, and I started about 10:01. I was a little late, but I tried not to be. Hell yeah, man. It sounded like they were pretty good, man. I'd almost want to try one. See? It's going off again. I think the worst part is the business, I think, has to pay money for their equipment doing a false alarm like that, because the police had to respond and everything. Like, I think they get fined because the police had to, because of over faulty equipment. I'm not sure, but I think it was like that. When I was at the Amazon, like they had like a fire drill or something, and they had to pay the fire marshal to be able to do that, because like they were still gonna like have a fire truck show up on the scene or some shit. But it was crazy. It was the cop that I knew too. It's so crazy. Yeah, because me and this another homeless dude, this dude that's like 70, I don't know, like just by looking at him, you can see that he's, you know, over 60. But anyway, we were both parking at this church, and I would only go there on Saturdays. I think the dude, he was like straight up like living in the church parking lot. You know, me, more or less, I kind of jump around, you know, at a couple of different places I go to, that kind of thing. Hang on, look at this, guys. I just want to have this on the live. This guy is like creeping, like he's like, he looks like he's about to jump the fence at this Tractor Supply place. I'm not sure what he's doing. But yeah, he came walking up beside my car and got like really close to my car, and see he's all hunched over. Okay, black gym shorts, white tank top, green army colored backpack, like a camelback backpack, blonde hair, I think a few tattoos. I didn't see his eye color. He's literally hiding behind that stack of white, whatever that is on that pallet. You see him just run by? It's really kind of stupid because you could see that I was live streaming when he walked by. I don't know why he... I don't know. Y'all still see him, right? Like he's right there. I think there's a police coming down the hill. Maybe it's not. Where'd he go? Anyway, I don't know. I'm just gonna ignore it because I don't want to get stabbed or anything. But I think I should probably move from out of this location either way. Like, I don't know, either stabbing or like held up at gunpoint or something. I can just kind of feel it. You know what I mean? Not like, you know, not like an everything feeling, but I got like a small part of me feeling like something bad could like definitely happened, which sucks because I was planning on sleeping somewhere like right around here, so that sucks. Uh-huh. But yeah, those of y'all just tuning in, if you're, if you weren't watching, there's cops responding to this alarm because this alarm keeps going off here at the Tractor Supply. And then there's some dude in a white tank top and some black gym shorts, like sneaking around the building. I just seen him go past way over there now. He's like way in the back, like where the trucks deliver. But there's like just some dude wandering around the Tractor Supply Company. Oh, I don't know, dude. I was thinking about it, Around back. Around the back. There's a dude in black gym shorts and a white tank top. They just ran around the back. I mean, I don't know. I didn't want to be ratting them out, but at the same time, I don't know. I probably should just go after. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Because I don't know, he might have a buddy that's watching me. And if the buddy's watching me, he'll see I just ratted him out to the cop where he's at now, on foot. It just makes sense that he'd have somebody in a car waiting, because, I mean, he's on foot. No, we didn't find him. I don't know. It was snitching, but I don't know. At the same time, it's like, you gotta, I don't know, it's like respect for my neighborhood, my town, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was.
What was he wearing?
Like black gym shorts and a white tank top. It was like a blonde-haired guy. He had like an army-colored camelback backpack. He came up. He got pretty close to my car, so I got a pretty good look at him. And then he was like hunched over, like he was trying to be ninja. And he was like just scooting around. He hid from a couple cars that were coming down this way from Walmart. And then I seen him back where like the trucks deliver to, on the other side of this fence.
Did he try and break in or anything like that? Or
Not that I saw.
What was he doing at the front of the store?
Just doing a real sneakily move, like he was trying to sneak up on somebody or sneak in, or. If you need me to, I'll leave. If you need me to write something down or something, I can too.
Okay. What was he wearing? Black shorts,
black shorts and a white tank top, and then like a green army-colored camelback.
Black shorts and a white tank top.
Like a hydration backpack.
Okay.
Almost.
Is he a blonde kid, younger kid?
Yeah, under 40, but I'd say older than 25.
Okay. And he was sneaking at the front of the store?
Yeah, he snuck around my car pretty much, and then see where the white stuff is stacked up on that pallet. He pretty much hid behind that when a car drove by, and then went around the back of the fence.
Okay.
And then I saw you about 30 seconds after I seen him kind of disappear around The other side of the fence down on, you know.
Did he go over the fence?
No, he walked around.
He walked around the fence?
But I let you know because I thought it was awkward that he was
Okay.
going around the back of the building at this time
This
of
is
day.
the first time you see him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, if you see anything, give us a call, okay?
Gotcha, no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here just in case of...
So he was just sneaking around the front. Was he like trying on the doors or anything?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
He did try this fence.
What do you mean try the fence?
He tried the fence kind of like how you did.
Try to open the fence?
Yeah.
Okay.
He tried the fence, and then he was, like I said, he was kind of like hiding through all the equipment as he went around the back of that fence around the backside.
Okay. Okay. All right. If you see anything else, give us a call. Okay. You
Gotcha,
said he
sir.
was wearing white tank top and.
Black gym shorts.
Okay. You have your ID on you?
Yes, sir. Here you are. There's both of them.
Okay.
Thank you, Jerry.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Give us
But
a call
yeah,
if you see anything else. All right.
I'll go ahead and vacate the area too, just
Yeah.
so you don't think it's me doing something, you know.
You said he was a blonde male.
Yeah.
Okay,
Blonde
younger?
male.
Maybe 40s.
No, not quite 40, but definitely over 25 looking.
What type of haircut did he have?
Like a fade.
Like a fade?
Yeah, like a
Did he have
kind of
tattoos?
vanilla ice. Yeah, I think he did have tattoos
Where?
on his arms.
Okay. Anything on his face?
No, sir, not that I didn't quite look at him too hard until I saw him haunched over, you know.
Okay. We'll do. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. But yeah, well, it kind of made it my business because he's trying to rob the store that I'm using the Wi-Fi of, you know, so it doesn't make me look good, on top of the fact that it already doesn't make me look good. Yeah. At least we got some action in the live stream, you know. Hey, I don't know where to go from here. Maybe I should go over to the Save-A-Lot parking lot, or I can go across the street. If I go over to Walmart, I don't know. I don't know if Walmart's really the play. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I thought it was just their alarm was tripping. I didn't think somebody was like actually trying to like pull off a heist or something. What the hell?